Ichigo already lost his powers once to save everyone. Bleach's final arc just set up a way to make him do it again, and this time, he might not come back. July 25th, Japan gets it first. The world gets it right after on Hulu and Disney+. This is it, the actual end of Bleach. Chapters 664 to 686, Ichigo versus Yhwach, round 2, and buried in that final stretch is a detail everyone's sleeping on. Remember the first final Getsuga Tensho? Ichigo won the fight against Aizen, and paid for it by losing his Shinigami powers completely. Bleach has one rule that never breaks. Power in this show is never free. Somebody always pays. Now look at where part 4 starts. The Soul King is dead. That death is already causing the 3 worlds, the human world, Soul Society, Hueco Mundo, to physically collapse into each other. The Royal Palace isn't the Royal Palace anymore. It's been twisted into something called the Var Welt, and it's crawling with the Wandenreich. That's not just a cool set piece. That's a system failure, and systems in Bleach only get fixed one way, with a sacrifice. Here's my theory. Ichigo isn't just fighting Yhwach for a rematch. He's fighting to become the thing that replaces the Soul King, and that role has never once been free in this story's history. The position itself is a cage. Think about it. Kubo has spent an entire arc establishing that the Soul King was never really a person. He was a battery keeping 3 worlds glued together. If Ichigo beats Yhwach but the throne stays empty, nothing is actually fixed. Someone has to fill that void, and the only character in this entire franchise built from human, Shinigami, Quincy, and hollow power, the only one who could theoretically hold 3 worlds together is Ichigo himself. That's not a stretch. Kubo built him that way on purpose since chapter 1, and it's not just vibes. Look at the confirmed fights for this part. Uryu finally goes all in against Hashwalth to make up for the betrayal. That's a redemption arc closing. Ichigo and Yhwach get their true final battle. Every single loose thread left over from part 3 is being tied off in these last 13 episodes. Kubo has said himself he's been hands-on with the storyboards for this final stretch, more involved than any previous core. That's not normal. That's someone making sure his original ending lands exactly the way he always meant it to, not the rushed version we got in the manga back in 2016. So here's the question I can't shake. Does Ichigo win by staying human, or does he win by giving up the one thing that's defined him since episode 1 and disappearing into something bigger than himself? Because if Bleach has taught us anything, it's this. The strongest characters in this story don't get to keep what makes them them. They trade it. Rukia traded her powers for Ichigo. Ichigo traded his powers to save Soul Society. The pattern doesn't break in the finale. It pays off. July 25th, we find out if I'm right. Drop your own theory in the comments. Am I overthinking this? Or does Ichigo not walk away from this ending the same person he started as? Subscribe, because when episode 1 drops, I'm breaking down every single frame that confirms or destroys this theory.